One of the most misapplied scriptures in all of the Bible, especially by those that say once saved, always saved, the hyper grace movement people. It says in Romans 8:1, therefore, there is now no condemnation for those which are in Christ Jesus. Sounds awesome, right? Sounds amazing. But they either conveniently or purposely leave off the second part of that verse, which makes it sound like this is conditional, because it says, there is no condemnation for those which are in Christ Jesus, that walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. So the question is, what does that mean?
What does that mean to not walk after the flesh, but after the Spirit? You mind telling us what it means?
What does that mean to not walk after the flesh, but to walk after the Spirit? That's how there's no condemnation in Christ Jesus.
How do you say, what does that mean to not walk after the flesh, but after the Spirit, and then literally jump to the end of the video? Let me help you out. For when we were in the flesh, pay attention, the motions of sins which were by the law did work in our members to bring forth fruit unto death. So please understand, to be in the flesh is equivalent or the same as being under the law in that context. To be in the flesh means that you're under the law. Being in the flesh is not equivalent to doing a certain sin. That when you do a certain sin, you're in the flesh. No. Please keep in mind what 1 John says sin is. What is sin? 1 John says this: sin is the transgression of the law. But what did Romans say in chapter 6, verse 14? For sin, the transgression of the law, shall not have dominion over you. Why? Here it is. For you're not under the law, but you're under grace. Question: can you break a speed limit that don't exist? No, you cannot. Did you know that in German, there is no speed limit? You will never get pulled over for breaking a speed limit. Likewise, when you are under grace, which is why Apostle Paul is rebuking the Galatian church, because they wanted to go back under law. So, remember that Apostle Paul said that where there is no law, there is no transgression of the law. Galatians chapter 3, you begun in the Spirit, now you're trying to be made perfect by the flesh. He's rebuking them for going back under law.